Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. So today's episode is something a lot of people have been wondering about. Some people tend to get a gist of it, they figure it out on their own. I mean, we all have to. But today we're talking about the Summer Festival Bug Exchange Shop. So what I'm talking about is with the new summer event, you do the, you go through the motions and you do the bug catching contest. You do normal, hard, and hell. You get bugs of all different kinds and all different kinds of, from hornets to spiders to beetles to stags to golden beetles to darumas, aka gold beetles. And, you collect this stuff over time. So, hey Blade, hey Gamer, you guys are on time. 7 people, I love it. So, what we're going over today is what do you do with all those bugs? You run this stuff, you use your energy, everyone's running it, everyone's hyped about it, everyone's got these L's. What's going on? So let's get right into it. So you talk to the Aurogiri Oni here, and she's from a Halloween festival we never had, but it was this old Halloween thing. It's not really important where she's from, but she's from a Halloween event that was in a long time. They'll talk about it a lot. It says, like, there's no haunted house this year, so I came with a business trip. So it was like a haunted house, like, a couple years ago. But it doesn't matter. What matters is bugs. So the first thing you see, we're going to go over everything in the shop, and I'm going to express my opinions of what's worth, what's not worth, and so on and so forth. So first thing on your list here is the Magatama Box 1. So in this box is a bunch of shit defense mags. And you can look at this list and it's literally just a bunch of crap. It's garbage. This is a waste of your time. No one should buy this box at all. It's not worth a damn. Okay, so next thing is Magatama Box 2. Magatama Box 2 is the Sword Mag and Odachi Mags. So inside you're going to get Mouse, Ox, those are both cooldown mags. I don't know what a Bikara is, but basically you can get Heroic and Ronin. So if you're desperate for a Ronin or a Heroic, you have a chance to get one in here. Tasogare is here, Sogyo, Akabono, Dusk, Kogacha, Asugi, Nayuta, Araya, Amara. So basically, this is a list of like every sword and Odachi mag that's commonly found in the moon. All you really want, and this is gonna be very brief. All you really want from these boxes are the last 4 mags. Wicked Wolf, Magatama, Wicked Wolf Fused, Skyrending Fused. So yeah, it's pretty standard. You can get a random Skill Force mag. I have not purchased any of these. I don't really, given my position, I don't really care that much. Because it's a 1%, I'll tell you this right now, it's a 1% chance to get a fused. So if, like, I've heard one person got one, but if you're really banking on it, like, it's not, it's crazy getting this stuff. 1% chance. So box 3 is the same thing. It's going to be, what is this? Dancing Water. So this is Twin Sword and Axe. Basically the same thing. So Hunter, Bloody Festival, they're both here, and then a bunch of mags that are all commonly found on the moon, and then Dancing Water Fused, Uretsu Fused. Box 4 is a little more desirable since wand and bow mags are a little more scarce. And this isn't wand and bow, I'm sorry, this is spear and bow. And this one's going to have your log, your pressure point, Tauros, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Mikan, banana, pineapple, melon, mango. And you note right now that there is no watermelon in this. If watermelon was in it, it'd be a lot more worth, but it's not. So, it is what it is. And then you have, of course, Thunderquake Fused, Attack Star Fused. And then lastly, Magatama Box 5 is going to be Staff and Wand. And you're going to see Magic, Fake Staff, Lord Shincho, Choco, Sote, Goken, Enma, Kosei, Sekisei, Koryu, Taitsu, Gyokute, and then Talonbreaker Fused, Talonbreaker, Crucifix Fused. So basically, there are 2 classes in each box. You have a chance to get a random mag. It's really up to you if you want to farm for it. It honestly wouldn't. It would take you like 2 days of just farming hard to get 100 beetles. So it's something I'm gonna do like at the end. Like after I've gotten everything I want, I'll get it at the end. So that's how I view it. Then we have the outfits. So after you do all your side quests, you're going to get 8 snow cones, or 16 snow cones you're going to get, and through the exchange shop you can get any 2 Vanguard costumes. So it explains you right there, you only earn enough in-game items to get 2 Vanguard costumes. If you want more than 2, like let's say you have Miyamoto, you have Sasuke, you have Genai, Himiko, Izuna, Tri-Tail Izuna, you know, Shooting Doji, etc., etc. You can only get 2 in-game. If you wanted a 3rd or 4th or so many more, you would have to go into the in-game shop. Like, you just go to Shopping Plaza, scroll down, and it would have all the swimsuits there. But before you just buy one, I encourage you to just farm the event and just get one naturally. It doesn't take long. You just got to do a bit of hard and hell, and you can get it in no time. If I just did a bit more hard, I could get one, but I haven't. And why do you want these swimsuits? For one, it's an aesthetic change. It gives your Vanguard a new costume. And just by having it unlocks the attack Surf and Bailout. It's a cool little attack, and it's almost like a water Thunder Beast sort of thing. It's like this water dash through a bunch of enemies. It's really cool. I've seen it a couple times. Pretty fun move. So, costumes are there. If you really want one, go for it. But in my perspective, it's not a priority. And then it goes down to Dark Musashi, and then you have like Shizuka, Yoshitsune, Moroku, Ibaraki, Momotaro, Kaguya, Susanoo. These ones are all different. Your in-game partners, like the recipe, the requirements, I should say, are a lot more lax. It's like 15 Fireflies, some Hornets, and some Rhino Beetles. So you can pretty much get all this stuff on normal. Pretty easy stuff. And yeah, you can buy them. You can buy as many of these ones as you want. It's only the Vanguard ones that are restricted. They're trying to get that. They're behind that paywall. So first thing on your list, you know, max durability ticket. You know, Fireflies, if you've done the event, you get Fireflies every time. You get the 5 keys, you go to the door, you go in there, you kill all the Fireflies, you get a lot of Fireflies. Fireflies just come over and over time. So 500 Dirt ticket, I have picked up all but 2 of them, and it wasn't the first thing I bought. The first thing you want to buy with Fireflies is going to be the full energy restore. This thing here, full energy restore, you should buy that first, because you're going to need lots of energy to do this, and it's just 30 Fireflies, you get a full energy restore. It's the first thing you get. First thing you get. By all means. And then after that, I recommend getting the band-aids and the buttons, and then it's up to you if you want the energy restores. I'm not too keen on them, but now I'm getting the Dura tickets myself. So Fireflies, if you just play the event every day and get a bunch of stuff, you'll just work through your Fireflies eventually. But I just do recommend getting the energy restores first, then the band-aids because they're the most expensive, then the buttons, and then Dura tickets if you want. I did save up 100 gold beetles for the Transcendent Smelting because I actually wanted that. Transcendent Ornament is really up to you if you want it or not. It's only really good if you're going to be using like not Maze, but like Omega or some really risky ornament or something like that. I might pick it up at some point, but it's not a priority for me. Moving down, you have a bunch of stones. Honestly, this is all worthless. Don't waste your time with these stones. I have picked up a couple piercing stones because I need piercing stones, and dragonflies are honestly useless. You can trade them up into other bugs, because I'll get into that later, but dragonflies are the most abundant thing because they're like everywhere on hard. Like, I had 700 of these and I traded some in for piercing stones. I'm like, it's piercing stones, I need them. But honestly, there's no real point in getting stones from here. It's too expensive. Like, a dark stone's 10 hornets. I could get like 60 dark stones and that would be worthless compared to just like the last video saying how to get dark stones. Idama's in here as well. It's a bunch of spiders. Like, I don't know. Like, you'd have to have bought everything else in here to even consider this stuff. It's not worth it in my opinion. The Summer Festival weapons. Okay, these are incredibly worth it. I'll tell you this right now. The Summer Festival weapons, apart from being a nice little aesthetic, fun memorial, souvenir kind of weapon, all these weapons, there's 15 of them you can buy, I believe. Yeah, there's 15 of them in the total stock, and they take 10 rhinos each. These weapons, if you don't know, they can, once they're identified, they actually act as an artisan sword. So if you need artisan swords, collect 150 rhino beetles. There's 15 artisan treasure swords right here for you. So that's awesome. Awesome possum. I plan to pick those up out later because rhino beetles are like the most important thing. So then we have the summer cool hat. It takes like, I don't even know what it took to get it, tell you the truth. But I bought the hat and the crab because why not? I thought it was pretty cool. And I can't buy the other hat because that's for guys. They have 2 different hats. But I bought them because they're cheap and pretty fun. Then you have all the exchange, animal exchange or something. I don't even know what that word is. The bug exchange. So like dragonfly, like all this stuff here, it's kind of garbage. But you can see here that if you have a lot of dragonflies, you can turn them into hornets. And if you have a lot, if you want spiders, you can take dragonflies and turn them into spiders. If you want fireflies, you need hornets. If you want rhino beetles, you need stag beetles. This is the only one that's really important. Stag beetles, apart from getting some worthless items, like, not really worthless, but they're not really, like, it's not worth buying them. Like, all the gems and earth and marbles and stuff at the bottom, like, they're not worth it. And they take stag beetles, and stag beetles aren't really that important. So what I tend to do is every 10 stag beetles I get, I just trade it in for a rhino beetle, because rhinos are literally the most important part of this event. Rhino beetles are like the best. So personally for me, it's every 10 stags I get a rhino. Golden rhino beetles, you have to trade in silver rhino beetle or silver stags. It's not worth doing it. Do not do it. It is a waste of time. And then silver stag beetles, you have to trade in rhino beetles, which then of course is not worth it at all. You want your rhino beetles. So I wouldn't trade for any of this stuff except for stag into rhino. Zenith medals, it's not worth it because it takes silver stags. If myrtles costed one dragonfly, this game would be easy. I'd trade in myrtles for points. Like, no, I would hold on to them. But medals, I don't recommend buying any of the medals at all. Like, it's honestly like 15 for a third class. Like, no, you're wasting your time. Go run Oni mode. Go run something Oni energy to like do something. Like this is the biggest trap I've ever seen in my life. Like, do not get medals with bugs. So now we get to the some of the best stuff. So blueprints, globe, wandering spirit, elixir, and moon dew. So the 5 tedious moon rewards. Note that lunar spirit seal is not here, but with the advent of Oni Palace, that's not the biggest problem anymore. Problem is getting a team together. But this stuff here, I highly recommend it. Blueprints, globe, wandering spirit, elixir. Not really elixir. Elixir, well, I mean, it really depends on your circumstance, but for me, elixir's whatever. I have like 44 of these things. And moon dew. So if you DC a lot in Dew Creek, pick up these moon dews, man. Like, if you know you're going to be making a lot of Fuse or a lot of Tempest or El Sin or whatever, you know, read up on all your recipes. You're going to need blueprints for Odin's weapon. Like, you never know what you're going to need, man. So one thing for sure, wandering spirit, like I could get like 4 right now. Like, it's that easy. These stuff are so easy to get. I highly recommend it. 30 spiders, easy peasy. 15 gold rhinos, 15 silver stags, easy peasy. And you can get 10 of each of them, and I highly recommend it. Like, if you don't want to farm, like, wandering spirit, like, I don't want to farm wandering spirit. Wandering spirit sucks the most amount of, like, male genitalia that it's just horrible. Now, it's not every class that doesn't need globe anymore. It's just a select few. I think it's wand and spear and a couple others do not need globe anymore. But there are some classes like bow that don't need wandering spirit or moon dew anymore. So it's very selective. Like, I know your spear, so you don't need globe. But off the top of my head, I don't really know anything that needs globe. The only thing I really know that's universal is that the El Sin will take Wandering Spirit, Moon Dew, and Blueprints, I want to say? I think it's Winter Moon Dew, Spirit, and Blueprints. Or it might be Blueprints or something else. But El Sin takes stuff. The Odin weapon, the Earth, takes some Blueprints. So I don't think Globe is necessary. But Wandering Spirit, fuck Wandering Spirit, man. I hate that shit. I'm going to pick up so many of that. So next on the list, you have the seedlings from the arcane dungeons. Now, if you look at these recipes here, like 30 golden rhinos and 30 stags, these things are not worth trading in for at all. Like, these things, you just run the dungeon for an hour and you've gotten 10. Like, don't waste your resources or your time with these things. Complete waste of time. Next thing on the list is the most important thing. Number one thing you should buy from this whole damn event is the Fallen Cross. Absolutely. Fallen Cross is like not a reward. It's like something you have to spend hours farming before you can even farm it. You have to be like on boost or suicidal and just get it. Like Fallen Cross is needed for a lot of things later on. It's needed for 1, the Elsin, 2, Tempest Mags, and I think it's needed for needed for the Eldritch Beast weapon. So there's 10 Fallen Crosses available to you, and like the first thing you should buy at all that requires your Rhinos and your silver stat. Like this recipe is really easy too. It's really easy to get this stuff. But in my opinion, Fallen Cross should be the #1 thing you get. There's 10 available, and I recommend you get all 10 because you never know what's going to need it in the future. And you do not want to have to farm this stuff. Like you want to farm Lucifer for your recipe, and like that's it. Like get out. Like recipe, plumes, and that's it. But Fallen Cross, #1 priority. #1 priority. I've already bought 5 of them, so that's pretty awesome. Next on the list is Tea of Eternal Night. This is Abyss Gargoyle's super rare drop. I don't think they're that rare because my friends who run the warding very often on boost will get them every now and again. But I put them as priority 2 after Fallen Cross. Like Fallen Cross comes first, and then Tea of Eternal Night. Because you're going to need some teas for Eldritch Beast as well, so Fallen Star. And of course Abyss and Grotto and all that stuff. Then after that you have Seedling of Calamity. This is the Logos Ahriman rare drop. I don't really consider it that important to buy it with these resources just because like you fight 2 Logos at a time. You can get drops very easily if you boost Restore. It's not the drop rate, it's beating Abyss. I mean, the one time I did it with Icaros, me and him went in, like I double S'd it. Like I died at the end. I didn't really need to soul leg because he finished him off. But dueling him, now note this was before type update, but when we did it, it was not that bad. I just sepulcher spammed the shit out of him. I mean, that's the Ifrit Vanguard perspective. Some people are sitting there with their Ichimangis being like, I'm afraid. Like, you know. But Seedling of Calamity, I don't put it as high as Fallen Cross or T. I don't even consider buying any of them, to be honest. Like, I farm Logos very rarely, like on a rare login where I have energy or something. I'll go do Logos and get like a seed or something. So I'm not too like particular about it. Like the only reasons you'd want it is A, you're a Wandering Axe, or B, you're making Tempest Magatama, in which you're going to need 30 of these and you can get 10 of them right here. So it really comes down to how much you really want to farm bugs and get your materials and all that good stuff. Next thing is the Horn Sculpture. Now this is from... I'm probably wrong because I don't have any of these things. This is from Eldritch Beast, the Horn Sculpture, and you need like 120 of these things to make that weapon. Now don't correct me if I'm wrong, but like it's a lot. You need a lot of them. It's either for Tempest or the weapon itself, but you need like a shit ton of these things. So I haven't really farmed Eldritch Beast much, but from what I've seen, he tends to drop these fairly regularly if you're on a boost or from reward or whatever. I don't really recommend, like, honestly, there's a hierarchy when it comes to all these drops because they all have the same materials. Like, from Fallen Cross to Radiant Spine, it's all going to come down to what you're building. And what I'm building is probably going to shape my perspective. So that you have to keep in mind how I say things. But like empirically, I'm going to say Fallen Cross is the #1 thing you should buy here, period, at all. If anything at all using these materials, buy 10 Fallen Crosses. You need it for Tempest, you need it for Sin, you need it for Eldritch Beast. Like, it's just great to have them. You don't ever know what's going to need them in the future. And it's just something you don't want to have to farm manually. Trust me, I farmed like 6 of them manually. Don't do it. Don't do it. But Horn Sculpture, like these tend to drop pretty regularly from Eldritch Beast, so I'm not too concerned about them. Radiant Spine, I haven't fought Blitz Tiamat like more than once. Like I have not farmed him at all. I don't know how bad it is to get Radiant Spine at all, but I might pick up a couple if I think you need them for Tempest, so I'm probably going to pick some up at some point. Yeah. So if I were to rank these specific drops in an order, for me it would go Fallen Cross #1, then Tea of Eternal Night, then Radiant Spine, then Seedling, then Horn Sculpture. Just because Yeah, like, it all really comes, like, as long as you get the Fallen Crosses, like, the day is yours, do what you want. Next on our list is, like, Cerulean Gem, Scarlet Gem, Myrtle Gem, Ivory Gem, Obsidian Gem. These recipes are crazy. 30 Stag Beetle and then 30 Golden Rhino for 1 gem is not worth it. Cerulean Gem doesn't even exist. Don't buy this. Go to, like, Alluring Cavern. Like, don't even worry about it. Scarlet, it's a little iffy. Myrtle, like, you should only even consider getting these gems if you've bought everything else in the shop, in my opinion. Because, like, gems, yes, they're tedious, but you can do them. You just farm a dungeon. Like, should I try for my fuse or pick up the Fallen? You should pick up the Fallen Cross first, man. Because this event's going away in August 4th or whatever. Like, as soon as August rolls around, these are gone. Like, pick up the Fallen Crosses now. Like, a fuse can be farmed. Don't worry about that. And a Fallen Cross can be farmed as well, but a free Fallen Cross, like, it's literally a free Fallen Cross. Just pick it up. And then obviously Ivory Gem, Obsidian Gem, these things drop like candy, ignore them. And then lastly we have Heavenly Marble and Earthen Marble. These are needed to make the Tempests, and honestly they're not worth buying. You just pop a boost and go run like Shootin' Doji's Dungeon or Rezui Island or whatever have you. You'll get them no problem. Like, basically everything past Radiant Spine is not worth buying. And then we have 10 Mill Chests. These are... No! 1 Rhino Beetle is worth 1,000,000 Ryu. Period. Like, no. Do not buy these. At all. At all. Do not do it. So, that's the whole list of things you can buy. So I'm just going to reiterate again, like, what's important to buy. So, number 1 thing you should buy is with your Fireflies, you're going to buy energy restores. Then you're going to buy, like, band-aids, buttons, and Dura tickets. Like, that's the hierarchy of Firefly stuff. And then for the stuff that takes Fallen Cross materials, like the Rhino Beetles, Silvers, and like Hornets or whatever it was, Spider, some basic drop. Fallen Cross first, then Tea of Eternal Night, then Radiant Spine, and then like Seedling, and then Horn Sculpture. What else is next? Costumes, it's really up to your leisure. If you have a Vanguard you want, like, Surf and Bailout is not like shopping, it's not like that important thing, but it's still nice to have. Like, if you want to get, like, I recommend you get at least 2 Vanguard costumes. If you have a Vanguard, you might as well do it, but like, do it near the end of the event or whatever. It all comes down to how things go. But I plan to pick up Musashi and Sasuke, and I don't think I'm going to get any others, just Musashi, Sasuke. Because Sasuke is like Rain Girl, and Miyamoto, it's Miyamoto, like, you know, she's bae. So then regular costumes is up to you. Like I said, I bought the Ibaraki Doji one and the Kagi one. They are very nice, and you get to see Ibaraki wearing hers. Like, I have Kieran, so when I bring Kieran with me, I see Ibaraki in her normal outfit. And I'll tell you now that if you get a swimsuit for a Divine Possession Vanguard, the Divine Possession is not in a swimsuit. So for everyone who really wanted to see like Azura in a Speedo, like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Or Siegfried, or I would love to see like Venus in one of those big long V string bikinis. That'd be really nice, but that's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. So we'll just shatter that dream right now. Yeah, stones aren't really worth it. Get the Artisan Treasure Swords. They take 10 Rhino Beetles. Literally take a day, farm normal or hell, whatever you prefer, and just get like 150 Rhinos and just get all these free Artisans. Because they're literally like the last free Artisans we have, because they took away the Point Room and stuff. So I would highly recommend picking these bad boys up. I haven't picked any up yet, but because I'm trying to get the Fallen Cross first. So keep that on your radar. 15 free Artisans, that's at least like a weapon and a half to 100. So yeah. You know, hats and stuff, it's up to you if you want to buy them. And then trading up, like I said, the only thing you should really want to trade up is Stag Beetles into Rhinos, and then just get your Rhinos. So yeah, and then you have the moon stuff. Like, if you really want the moon stuff, like, you need them to make your fuse, get it first. Like, you know you better than I know you. So, you know, consider yourself, like, let's say you're, like, the god of gods, and you already have 10 Fallen Crosses, like, from farming Lucifer, then obviously you're not going to get more Fallen Crosses. Like, it's, you know, It doesn't mean, it doesn't have any meaning to you at that point. Seedlings, they're not worth a damn here. Not worth a damn. All this stuff is worth something, so fallen cross, all that stuff. Gems, worthless. Earth and marbles, worthless. Money chest, worthless. So, there's no skill cards here, are there? There are not, okay. So that's pretty much every item. So, I do plan on doing a guide of like the actual bug contest thing itself. So be on the lookout for that. Like next time I get my buddies with me and we're just gonna like run through an hour or so of it, I might just do a video stream of it and explain my tactics of it, how things work. Like generally I don't like doing normal at all. I don't condone normal because everything's fixed. Normal's kind of worthless. Even though the Rhino beetles show up as the rare spawn, if you run hell and you just like run around the area, Rhino beetles are there all the time. Like, you can find 9 rhinos of hell, like, if you know what you're doing. And then you still get the gold Darumas, or in our case, the gold beetles, but they look like Darumas because of a glitch. So I only ever run hard or hell. So normal to me is kind of worthless. I tried it today, and it wasn't that important. Wasn't that good. And then obviously you do hard for the silver stag, and then hell for everything. I do recommend that you're always on a boost of some sort while you do bugs, because it's very infuriating to like kill a rhino beetle or a rare monster and you don't get any drop. Like, that sucks a lot. So what I tend to use is every week you get that 30-minute one. I'll tend to use the 50% boost for 30 minutes. I'll use that if I'm not on login. I tend to do it on login a lot. But if it ever so happens, then it will happen that me and my buddies are going to boost restore bugs. When we do that, it will probably be like 100% boost. Nothing more than that. You don't want to go anything higher than 100%. I actually bought 9 100% drop boosts today just to have them. And yeah, I recommend if you're going to be doing boosts, like always be on, or not boost, if you're going to be doing bugs, always be on some kind of boost, be it login or 50% or drop boost, something like that. Because there's nothing worse than like killing a rhino and it doesn't drop anything, or any kind of the rare beetles. Like, that sucks. So yeah, that's what I recommend. And generally, if you're gonna boost, I recommend doing it on hell over like generally I prefer to do hell, because hell has the rhino beetles and the golden rhino beetles, but silver only has like the stag and the silver stag. And so, like, stag isn't as valuable as the gold rhinos and the rhinos. So, like, rhino, it's going to come down to a rhino is the most important. Like, in a perspective, you could say that rhino beetles are myrtle gems, silver stags are cerulean gems, and golden beetles are, like, scarlet gems. Whereas the rhino beetle, just plain rhino beetle, is the most important one. Because it's needed for so many things. Like, rhino beetle is needed for, like, not the Vanguard costumes, but for the normal character costumes, you need rhino beetle for that. You need, like, yeah, you only get silver stags on hard, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, normal is worthless, and hard is only for the silver stag and normal stags, and hell is for rhino beetle and golden rhino beetle. But like, rhino beetles, like I said, they're needed for the costumes for the normal partners. They're needed for, I don't think I can buy the outfit. They're needed for these weapons here. You got 87 rhinos in one boost. Wow. I didn't boost today, but now, did you restore for the whole boost, or was that just until it ran out? And then I think, yeah, no, rhino beetles are not needed for the moon rewards, but rhino beetles are needed for, like, fallen cross. All the big bad boys, they need the rhino beetles and the silver beetles. And golds, what needs the gold? The gold is needed for this stuff here. So that's why I tend to run hell over normal, because I get them both on hell. And I'm going to need both of them. Like, that's why I have 189 golden rhino beetles. You're running normal, so the energy lasts the whole time. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, 87's pretty good. 87, yeah, 87 for an hour. Yeah, 87's good. Almost 100 an hour. That's really good. That's like, is that just 2? Like, is that literally it? Like, wow, that's not even 2 fallen crosses. That's crazy. I get another fallen cross and like 5 silver stags. But yeah, I recommend for Rhino beetles, I'd just say just do hell. Like, yeah, it's double the energy, but you're getting the golds and the rhinos at the same time. Cause, like, let's say you get to that perspective, right, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna get my rhinos done first, then I'm gonna do my golds. It's like, well, when you go do the golds, you're gonna be getting rhinos anyway, and you're gonna have all these extra rhinos, and you're gonna be like, well, fuck. So, like, I don't recommend doing normal unless you, like, just need, like, I don't know, a couple rhinos to top something off. Because it's always going to be like that, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to do the easier thing first, and then do the other thing, and it's like, well, I'm doing the other thing, and I'm getting the other stuff, so... It's sort of like when I did EXP in Tiger Seeds, because I wanted to get seeds. What do we need golds for? Okay. So, you need the golds for all the moon rewards. You need golds for all the moon rewards. You need golds for... You need it for the transcendent smelting and for smelting and ornamentation. You need it for the costumes. You need them for... I think you need it for all the costumes. You need it for these things. Because these things don't take rhinos at all. They just take golds. You need it for, like, seedlings, because why the fuck not? And you need them for myrtle gems. Because, I guess, in that perspective, you should count everything you need golds for first. Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's what I'm gonna get at. Like, if you can, like, count how many golds you need, then, like, to get the stuff you want, like, how many golds you need, then once you get that gold quota, you could just do normal at that point. Because that would work out. I would just not want to see someone do, like, all the normals in the world, and then, like, they have to do hell, and they're getting all these drops they don't need. It's like, well, fuck. Because I've never run normal. Like, I've run normal once, and I'm doing, like, pretty good for rhino beetles. Because I get about 9 a run. Like, on hell, you can, if you're smart, you can find 9 of them. Yeah. You want to get that one, exactly, F Wandering Spirit. Like, in my perspective, like, once I'm done the Fallen Crosses, it's Wandering Spirit. And then, like, Blueprints, because fuck Blueprint. I just do not like Blueprints. But yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. So, it's pretty self-explanatory once you get into it. It's like, okay, like, if you're just starting, you're just gonna go in, and you're gonna get, like, okay, I'm gonna get energy restores and a Fallen Cross. Great. And then you're gonna get, like, band-aids and more Fallen Crosses, and then buttons and more Fallen Crosses. And then once you get all the Fallen Crosses, it's like, okay, I'm gonna move on to the next thing. And then you're gonna have all the Firefly stuff done. Like, it's all it really is. But what I do recommend is, at some point, you're gonna need to get together with your friends and energy restore if you want, like, all the stuff. You're gonna have to take a couple hours, get a good 5-man party together, because you're gonna need that. Because the more you kill stuff, the more the rare stuff spawns, and you get keys faster. But yeah, get a good 5-man party together with your friends, get everyone on a boost, get your boosts in sync, and just restore for like 3 hours. And just get all your shit, because this is a timed event. It's going away pretty soon. Why is there a silver stag on the wooden patch behind Kubire? Why is someone in my way? I can't close my menu. Behind Kubire, that's a golden rhino beetle. That's what they're supposed to look like, but the game glitches them to look like Darumas. And they act like Darumas, but they're just supposed to be a golden rhino beetle. But there are bugs everywhere, like don't worry about that. So yeah, that's basically how the exchange shop is gonna work. So if you don't know what all these stuff is, and you're just playing the event because you're new to the game, like do yourself a favor and just get all the full energy restores and all the fallen crosses. If you do that minimum, oh, your life's gonna be so much better. So, you know, like I said, look at your recipes, look toward the future, look at all the stuff you need, and just consider what I said, and you'll figure out the exchange shop pretty easily. And don't use the watermelon things as weapons. They're artisans. Like, play with them for a bit, but eventually they're going to be artisans. So, yeah. So that's 35 minutes. Hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully it's not too short. And if you guys have any questions at all or any tips or anything like that, just please be sure to comment them down below after the video is done so everyone can hear your ideas, and I will promptly respond to comments as I tend to do. That said, I'll be getting on out of here, and I hope you guys have a great bug festival time.